computer. All right, welcome everyone to tonight's team call. Tonight I'm talking to you guys about some of my takeaways from NLC and how you can implement them and how you can earn your free trip to LA next year. Because let me tell you, it was just, and I talked about this in our team page when I went live and cried like a baby, but I've struggled for a really long time with this idea that like my hard work can actually get me somewhere, because for so long, like in life, my hard work has just barely gotten me to where I wanted to be, or I've barely made it. I've barely hit the cutoff to get into grad school and things like that. And so to see how hard work actually earns you some pretty awesome things it kind of shook me, because I always just thought, like, I see all these other people being successful. I don't know what that'll look like for me. I don't know when that'll happen for me. And to see it actually happen to me was like, wait, I can actually do this. And that just kind of blew my mind. And I want you guys, even if it's outside of coaching, outside of health and fitness, in whatever realm of your life, if you're battling this idea of, I'm working so hard and I feel like I'm fighting so hard just to keep my nose above the water, or your eyes above the water, whatever body part is supposed to be above the water, just keep doing it, because it will pay out in the end. It's so exhausting to work so hard to not necessarily see the return, but when you do get to see the return, holy shit, it feels so good. Okay, so that's my tidbit on that. Amy Rada came out, she spoke twice, but one of the things that she came out to talk about was kind of how she shares her story and the difference a year can make. So I know, like, for me, this time a year ago, I was still begging Sammy to join as a coach. She was still telling me she was busy with conferences, and then she was filing her taxes, and then she was waiting for her tax return to come back. And it was literally like a team of me and Tara. It was me and Tara, okay? And let's fast forward to a year from now. I mean, I continue to show up every damn day, studying for boards, looking for a job, being a new grad, working a full-time job, and all this stuff. Like, I continued to show up because I knew that I wasn't going to get that change right away. And you guys all know this, like with your own fitness journey, like you don't see results the next day. It's just, and if you do, you're probably going to lose them just as easy as you got them. So continue to show up every single day, because a year from now, your life can look so different. So different. And I know that, on this day a year ago, I was struggling a lot financially. I kind of was like, this has got to be a real thing. This has got to be what pays my bills. And I'm just thinking of, like, what can my life look like a year in the future? And I have big goals and dreams of what it's going to look like. And so I want you to have big goals and dreams. Like, you've got to set big goals. Otherwise, they say, like, shoot for the moon, land on the stars. And it's cliche, but it's so true. You've got to shoot big, because you just never know how much greatness you can get from that. Another big thing is the fact that you have control of your success. It is not your neighbor. It is not your significant other. It is not anyone else but yourself. And we get in the way of ourselves so often. I get in the way of my own self more frequently than I would even like to admit. Like, right now, I feel like I'm in this state of, like, rut, and I'm getting in my own way, and I just need to step back and be like, Courtney, like, control the controllable, do your freaking best every day, and the rest will play out. You just have to, like, if you're passionate about something, you just have to let your passion out without having this fear of judgment from others. And that's hard. That is so much easier said than done, because we live in a world where people have their own opinions. They are strong opinions, and they're not always the nicest opinions. I just had someone tell me tonight that she is fearful of coaching because someone literally put a note on the windshield of her car and said she wanted to join, like, a sports team through the college and said, fat girls don't play volleyball, and put it on this person's windshield. And now she's fearful because someone did that. Okay. The judgment of other people. And I had to talk with them and say, you know, you use that like it's shitty. What they did that is like nauseating. It's horrible. You take that and you light a fire under your butt to say, I am so much better than that. You are going to make that person look like a complete idiot when you outshine this person in so many different areas. Personal growth, going to look a hell of a lot better than her, you know, like things like that. So whether it's, you know, whatever in your life is this note on the windshield of your car in life, you need to take it and not let that judgment run you down. And exactly, someone else's opinion is really not anything, is not part of your business. Like so-and-so's opinion doesn't pay your bills. It doesn't create cycle bonuses. It doesn't make you a diamond coach. You know, if anything, you take that fire and you freaking like fuel yourself to just show them that they're wrong. Another common theme that I heard, and this is more than just Amy Rada, if you've listened to the Ashley Molstead call, is to get rid of self-limiting beliefs, to be your own biggest fan, and to really think about what is your inner mean girl telling you. Like I had said before, we can be our own worst enemy. We can get in our own way. So there's a book called Mastering Your Mean Girl. Leah, are you reading that right now? Is that? I think so. It's on my like list of books that I want to read when I start getting into reading again. But that one stood out. Okay, Hallie's read it. And I really think we all have an inner mean girl, and it's like that inner person that's just telling you like, so-and-so, they didn't like your post on Instagram, so you must look ugly in it, you know? Or it's the person who's telling you, you'll never make it as a coach. Like, what do you think? If I listened to that inner mean girl, I wouldn't be hosting this call right now. I wouldn't have just gotten back from LA last weekend. I wouldn't be able to pay my rent every month just through coaching. Okay? Don't listen to that inner mean girl. Another thing that was a very common theme was just to share your vision. And this can be applicable in so many different areas of your life and with so many different people. The big thing for me was I wanted to share my vision with my team as to what our goals are. We are shooting for 5-star elite. And I need to continue to show that to them because I need that. Like, I can't hit 5-star by myself. Like, I can't open that many business centers, you know? Like, I've got to have people on board. It's a team collaborative thing. And so maybe for you in your life, maybe you want to travel to this place, or you want to accomplish this with your marriage, or you want to do X, Y, and Z. Like the people that it involves or the people that it takes to reach that, you have to share it with them. So whether you have your own team and you have your own goals with them, like, you need to make it be known. You can't just sit back and be like, what the hell? They're not doing anything. Well, do they know? You know, that's kind of just like, and I've seen this at work where it's like, oh my gosh, there's no sanitizer in these 5-patient rooms. Like, if state were to come, do the people who refill them know that they're empty? Like, you can't sit and complain about something and not let it be known to the people who need to address or facilitate or help. Okay. So set your goals, visualize yourself achieving it, and just freaking go for it. So one thing that I really liked was you need to show up for the person that needs you. We all kind of have different stories as to how we got started or whatever, but you know, whether it's someone who's battling anxiety or depression, or someone who truly just hates what they see in the mirror, you need to show up for that person who needs you to show them that they are worth so much more, that they are capable of good things, and that you can guide them on how to make smarter choices to push past those negative thoughts. I can't tell you. I also shared in our team page, she's a Canadian coach, and it was her story about how she had seen someone post on Facebook about like a 21-day fix group. She joined it. She did it for the 3 weeks. She fell off track, and that was it. She did 21-day fix and never did anything else, gained the weight back. And she had written letters to her family members, put them in the cup holder of her Jeep, and drove up to a very tall, I think it's somewhere in the mountains in Canada, basically drove to the top and was trying to figure out how fast she could go off the cliff, off the edge, so that she would crash the hardest and it would work. And there was something, I forget exactly what it is, I'd have to go back and rewatch it. There was something in that moment that reminded her and that stopped her. And she decided, like, no more. She jumped back on, eating healthy, joined that group back up again, surrounded herself with good people, and she's now a very successful coach in Canada. And it's all because that one person never stopped checking in on her, never stopped giving up on her, even though she was that person who started off really strong and then completely fell off. And you're like, well, I mean, I don't know what else to do. I've helped them. I've reached out to them. Like, you just need to continue giving them love, because you never know what the hell someone else is going through. And I can't tell you how many times people have just said, like, I needed to hear this, even if it's just, you're doing awesome, or way to go. Some people are going through some really tough shit, and that's all they need to hear. What time do I got here? Okay, I'm doing good. We're doing awesome. One other thing is that everyone matters. Are you guys familiar with, like, the ugly duckling story, where basically the duck was born as the ugly duck, and the family, like, disowns him, and for lack of a better way to put it, and this family of swans kind of takes him in, and they treat him like he is the beautiful swan that he deserves to be. And how I'm kind of tying that in is, you need to help someone find their inner swan, because for so many people, they look up to us as coaches, and they see us as, like, the swan, like the people who, like, have our shit together, when none of us do. Or they see themselves as they believe that they are the ugly duckling in the situation. And it is our job to show them that they are not the ugly duckling, that they are the swan, that it's super cheesy when I say it out loud, like, show people that they're swans. But, like, really, when you think deep down, people really, when they're looking for help and they're looking for change, they generally don't feel the greatest about themselves. And it's our job to show them what they're capable of, and to help them see what they're capable of. So definitely the common theme that I really picked up on was help people, motivate people, support them, show them what they're capable of, find their strengths, and just embrace the journey, really. Keisha Fitzgerald also talked on part-time coaching, because she, if you don't know, she's like a ray of freaking sunshine. She's got a great podcast. She's just like, she's amazing. She was working for Google, making 6 figures when she started coaching. As she was like a discount coach. She just wanted the discount. And then she was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I just want to cover my Shakeology. She's like, I'm making 6 figures with Google. Well, her full-time job was sucking the life out of her. She just felt like it was sucking the life out of her. Anyone relate? Me. My job lately has made me want to do a lot of bad things. And so, long story short, now here she is making 6 figures with Beachbody. She was able to fire her own boss. But for the longest time, she advocated for the part-time opportunity, because she was a part-time coach and a full-time employee for a very long time. That's kind of where I'm at too. And so the big thing is, like, you got to find how it works for you. And it's really about falling in love with the process and not fixating on the end goal. It's not going to happen overnight. None of us have had overnight success. It's not meant to be overnight success. And, when you're showing people the part-time business opportunity, you really have to make it look attractive and like paint the picture of like, this is what my life looks like. I know Sammy does a really good job of talking about power pockets and how when Sam's driving, she's working her business and like little things like that. Sabrina does a good job of like, she's a mom, she's got a family, and this is how she works into her day, or she listens to personal development while she's in the car, or, whatever. So it's like you find how it works and you just share about it, because you never know, again, who needs it or who's looking out for it. Keyshawn, she talked about team volume. That's another topic for another call, because she like blew my mind about that one. But I'm going to end with Carl. So he started out, Carl Deichler, CEO. He started out the weekend as the first speaker. He did like the welcoming. And this is like this theme that won't exit my life. I don't know. It's bizarre. So he started by saying, there is one rule about this weekend, and it is that fear is not welcome here. It'll rob you of your potential. Fear is not welcome here. So that was the tone that he set right away. And he was talking about how you have to focus on your actions, not your outcomes. So, he was referring to the Success Club tracker. And he's like, this tracker is, you're focusing on these specific actions you have to take if you want to achieve your outcomes. Yeah, I can have pretty lofty goals. How the heck am I going to get there? So really focusing on your actions every day, and not just the outcomes. Now, the outcomes can be the motivator, but it can't be the main focus. Because if I just fixate on like 5-star, I want to be 5-star diamond, I'm not putting in the work or taking the action to get there. So how are you going to put in, the work and take action in order to achieve the outcomes? When you're talking to people and just going into having conversations and talking with people with this mindset of how can I help you? There's research on certain grocery stores or certain retailers. I think it was Walmart, where, when you're in a grocery store, especially like Publix, because gosh, they love to talk to you about Publix, but that employee that wants to come up and ask you if you need help finding anything, and you purposely like look at your phone because it's like, like this awkward social interaction. But people find more comfort, or they find better customer service when someone comes up to them and say, hey, can I help you find anything, or finding everything okay? Think of a store that you go to when you're like, where is the employee when I need them? Because I can't find this one thing on my list, and I've looked up and down every single stinking aisle, So think of this with coaching. Like, how can I help you? Like, how can I help you achieve your goals? How can I help you feel the best that you possibly can? How can I provide you with a team of supportive women who are going to help hold you accountable and be some of your best friends? How can I help you? And so again, there was that theme of fear is not welcome here. And I'm really kind of running with that, because fear holds so many of us back. Kind of putting you on the spot, Tasha, but how fearful were you to commit to Transform 20?
Very. It took like a lot of weeks and then just like one day of just like deciding I'm just going to purchase it. And the worst that can happen is I'll just be back at square one. So, and now I'm on week 6 as of tomorrow.
Right? Like I could literally cry. Like I cannot. So just think, if fear would have held you back, where you would be, how frustrated, or, you would probably be like, gosh, I should have just freaking done it,
Mm-hmm.
that is the perfect example of how fear is not freaking welcome here. So I don't care what your goals are. If it's just to commit to a program and finish it from day one to whatever, if it's to hit a certain rank and running towards it until you hit it and taking the actions to get there, because actions are greater than outcomes, whatever your fear is, it's not welcome. Like, just don't acknowledge it. Okay. Fear is normal, but don't acknowledge it. And the more you feed into it, it's going to come right back. It's going to come right back. And that was another thing. I was at church on Wednesday, and he was talking about how, like if you feed a stray cat, it comes back. The same goes to when you feed into fears, when you feed into negativity, when you feed into bad situations, they're going to come right back, just like those stray cats. So this is the other freaky thing. So I know, Hallie, you have this calendar as well. I want you to listen to today's, and honestly, before this call, I hadn't even read this before this call, and I was like, oh yeah, fear's not welcome here. And I've had this song stuck in my head. It's, gosh, I don't know who it's by, and it's like a worship song, but it's like, my fears don't stand a chance when I'm standing in your life, or something like that. I don't know. It's like, my fears don't stand a chance when I'm standing your, something like that. Okay, I'll find it. I'll share it. Hope I don't get copyrighted for that wonderful rendition of that song. But then this. View fear from your rearview mirror. No matter how intimidating your next great leap forward seems at the moment, it will be a pipsqueak when you look back on it someday. So why wait? Why not look at it through pipsqueak-colored glasses right now? Envision your challenges from the future, look back on them from a place of victory, and they will lose much of their power to paralyze you. Okay? I just pen dropped on that, because that concept of not letting fear consume our lives it continues to show up. I don't know if it's a God thing or what thing, but nonetheless, it is apparent and clear to me that we need to stop feeding into fears and just do the damn thing, whatever it is, whatever it may be that you're shooting for. And you need to share those goals with other people. So now I'm going to end on how you can earn NLC next year. So yeah, there you go. Thanks, Tasha. Stand in Your Love by, is it Josh Baldwin? I cut it off. Thank you. So all you have to do to earn NLC next year is be 1-star diamond, which means you have, I know, Sammy is so close. You have to have 2 emeralds, 1 on each side, and one of the emeralds has to go diamond, and you have to hold it for 6 weeks. That's how you earn your invitation. If you have 50 elite points, you get your hotel, like that super freaking nice hotel I stayed at, paid for. It was paid for. I didn't have to spend a dime on my hotel. So if that's something, like just like how I'm shooting for the moon, I know it's obtainable, but I'm shooting for the moon with going 5-star. I want you to shoot for 1 star, so that way you can be at NLC, drink champagne out of a wine glass in a 5-star hotel room in a fancy robe that you could never afford. And you got to be careful not to take things out of the drawers, because they'll charge you $5 for a pack of M&Ms type of hotel. Okay. And you are going to get spoiled. Like, free drink tickets for the little shindigs, which they were really good drinks. They were all fixed date approved, I will say that. It was pretty cool. And like the dinner, they had like sushi buffets. They had Carl and Autumn just casually walking around, and like you just sit and you're like, whoa. It's really cool, you guys. So I seriously challenge all of you guys to work towards 1 star, because it's doable. And you start getting, what is that? Team cycle bonuses, or team matching bonus. which I'm not going to go into details, but it's extra free money. Just, I'll say that. So there's lots of, I mean, obviously going to LA is freaking blast. Oh, and touring headquarters. Yeah, that was cool. Made me want to just work for Beachbody and as like a corporate person, because they don't have it rough there. It's pretty freaking cool. So that is all that I have. Like, those are my main takeaways on NLC. Does anyone have any questions for me or have any comments? The floor is yours.
Proud of you.
Thanks, girl. Appreciate it.
Allie, we got to get there next year.
Oh, yeah, we'll be there.
I think all of you could be there.
Yeah, for sure.
No doubt.
For sure.
I'll say it was really cool. I got to meet, like you've probably seen in my pictures, I met these it ended up being 4 girls. 3 of them I literally met at LAX at 9 a.m. That Thursday morning. Like the girl I was supposed to go to NLC with, her grandpa was really sick and ended up passing away, and so she wasn't able to go. And she had known like girls from her team that were going, and she's like, here, like, let me just get you in touch with them so that you don't have to go completely alone. And I spent the weekend with them, and I learned just as much from those groups, that group of girls, as I did from the speakers. And it was just really cool to be like, no, I'm not part of their team. Them sharing their best practices with me doesn't benefit them. But just to see, and they like had no problem, like, oh yeah, girl, no, like I'll just send you this Google form. Like, you just use this. Like, it's just that camaraderie and that connection. Is just, we live in a world where women are such bitches. They're like, I'm not sharing this with you because then you'll have what I have. And in coaching, it's kind of like, please use what I have so that way you can be successful too. And I think that there's a lot to be said about that. I know you guys all know that, but it was just to see it in real life with people strangers I met, that were still willing to completely share best practices with me to help me be successful, was just kind of cool. So started going on a tangent again. Anyone have any other questions?
I do. Are you gonna do the ultimate portion fix thing? Be certified?
I'm thinking about it because I didn't do 2B mindset because I need structure. But Autumn talked about this, and she basically said that this is something that everyone kind of needs in their arsenal. So if you don't know what the ultimate portion fix is, it's basically the little container system. It's being revamped, and there's a way that you can get certified to kind of really understand the ropes of it. And there's going to be educational videos through Beachbody On Demand that only those who purchase it will have access to it. And it's how to navigate. I think it might cover like how to navigate the grocery store and stuff like that, similar to 2B mindset, but there's structure to it. It's not the plate it method. It's, how to raid your pantry, I don't know the specific topics off the top of my head. But she was saying that she was like, this is going to be huge. And I got to sample one of the workouts that's going to be refilmed. So she's basically taking 21 Day Fix and extreme workouts. She's taking some of the basic moves, but she's switching it up. So it's not like the same jokes and phrases and moves that you heard 35,000 times during that program, 17 rounds in a row. And she's doing it live. So every workout's, individually recorded and different. And it's not the same exact workout re-recorded. It's like different moves. So yeah.
No more. And rest. That was her biggest thing in 21 Day Fix.
But the real question is Donald going to be on it?
Her son?
No, Donald Stanford from
Oh, I thought you said Dom. Like her son's name is Dom. Probably not. I don't know.
So sad. He's my spirit animal.
I know. He's awesome. But yeah, to see her live and like talk about it, you could just see how fired up she was. It was pretty cool.
Because I know they helped me a lot, and they helped me help other people. So it's something that I was seriously considering. It's only $140 for coaches, so
And
I didn't do that thing.
she was also saying for the Facebook group, she said, you got to register. I forget the dates again off the top of my head, but if you register for the certification for that, during that coach window, that first window.
That is March 4th through 17th.
If you register for that, you get to be in her exclusive Facebook group. And she goes, and that's the only one I'm running. So you either join it then or you're not going to be in my Facebook group. She's like, I can't handle making a group every month. She's like, you get one chance to be in my exclusive group where I'm going to help you train people better. And that's it. So I was like, you know what? I didn't do the 2B mindset certification, and it's perfect for some people. Not perfect for me, because I go balls to the wall when I don't have structure, hence the reason I had cake and a donut at work today. It's okay. It's okay. I made a silly mistake, silly choice.
You gotta live your life, girl. You gotta live it.
Girl, I had bottomless mimosas. Like, literally don't even talk.
Yes. So, you know what? Long story short, yes, we'll be doing the ultimate portion fix.
Cool.
Does anyone have any other questions about anything or NLC? Any, burning questions about my weekend or anything?
I have one, Courtney. Did you say it was 50 elite points for that free hotel room?
Yes. I would fact check that because they've changed the elite system. I would just double check that the elite points is still the same as to what qualifies the paid hotel room. I would think it's the same because I think you can still earn points the same way. They've just restructured the road to elite. So, obviously aim for 50. Can't imagine it would be more. So, that's
Before you close out, Courtney, I'm just going to preface for next week. My dad is actually going to be on next week, you guys. I don't know if you were going to talk about this at all, so I'm sorry if I'm...
No, I forgot.
Okay. So my dad is going to be on next week. He is actually a certified John Maxwell speaker, and I don't know if any of you have heard of him before, but he's a very much like life coaching type of speaker. And my dad actually now has retired from his current job, and he does this from home. And he was my first coach that I signed up under me. He doesn't actually work the business, so I'm going to, say that. But he is a discount coach, and he has agreed to speak to all of our teams about kind of how to tell your story and what that means and how to get into the hard parts of your story and how that can connect with people. And so he's going to be on next week as kind of our guest speaker. And so I'm really excited to have him on, and I hope that you guys are excited to see him as well. It'll be a little bit weird for me because it's like my dad featuring in my business life, which I don't really know how that's going to go, but he's super excited. He's done a lot of trainings with other corporate businesses, and so I asked him just to kind of talk to our teams, and he was super fired up about it, so he's really excited.
That is exciting.
I'm super pumped. We're going to have someone like a big deal. Like, we're going to have a big deal on our call. Okay. So if no one has any other questions, I'm going to close it out. And I just want to remind everyone that team impact means I must push and conquer today. So control the controllable, take things one day at a time, focus on the actions that you're going to take today, and you'll address tomorrow when it happens. So that being said, I hope everyone has a wonderful rest of their Sunday night and that you go into Monday just focusing on conquering Monday and just continue to do that every damn day. And before you know it, you'll be seeing some pretty amazing things. So have a wonderful evening, everyone. I love you all so much. Thanks for tuning in and listening to my weekend, and I love you all so much. Bye.